Hello everybody, welcome back again. It's another challenge for the Reply Challenges program, live on challenges.reply.com. It's 5 o'clock sharp, as promised, Central European Solar Time. And it's Enrico all over again from the Reply Solar Space here in Turin, in our beloved headquarters. And we start again another Ask Us Anything, Ask Me, but not me actually, webinar, where to collect all the possible doubts and questions related to the Reply Sustainable Investment Challenge that is about to start. We are approaching the end of our registration campaign, started on March the 8th, that will end on April the 16th, so in a few days. And then we will start officially the challenge from April the 19th to the 30th. But I'm already spoiling something that we are about to talk about in a matter of minutes. And as always, I'm not alone because I'm just here to help and to announce the discussion among the panel of our beloved guest, and I'm happy to welcome all of you guys. Welcome to this live webinar, and specifically I can start in presenting all of you connecting from different sites, I guess all in Italy mostly, but let me start with my friend repliers that are together with us, part of the Reply Titanium team. So the team of repliers committed in realizing the let me say, finance-related challenge, how to call that. My friend Paolo Fabris and Mattia Guadagni. Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Very well.
All right. Ciao, Paolo. Everything good?
Yeah. Hi, Enrico. Thank you very much. Yeah, everything's fine, and let's hope to replicate the successful edition last year, or even better, of course.
Yeah, why not? Of course, even better, and I'm happy to. Yeah, actually, I'm already feeling the same the same experience we had the past year. You are absolutely right in remembering us the beautiful journey we had last year was 2020. That kind of particular year. We are into a new year this time with a whole new challenge, even with some differences. I mean, a lot of differences. We will talk about it later. But yeah, then again, the same enthusiasm and the same willing of doing a great stuff all together with thousands of people already registered worldwide, and that's a great number. We will not disclose it today, but we can say that we are already doing better than the past year in terms of registration and people already in. Thank you very much to Mattia as well. Ciao, Mattia. Welcome on board.
Ciao, Enrico. Hi, all.
Nice to have you guys. Just let me say, delegates, representation of the Reply Titanium team made of many other repliers that are connected with us today and that are, of course, committed in realizing a great challenge that as all the Reply challenges, as the one for the code, the cybersecurity, the creativity, the digital creativity that is about to start, all the Reply challenges are made for the worldwide talents, professional and students, but made by the repliers, the teams of repliers, again, committed in designing the problems and designing the competition overall. This time, specifically for the Sustainable Investment Challenge, we have a lot of partners collaborating with us in realizing these great challenges. So I'm happy to welcome for the second year in a row Banca Generali, together with Ms. Claudia Vacanti, Head of Product at BG Banca Generali. Hello, Claudia. Can you hear us?
Hello to everybody, and thank you very much for having me and Banca Generali to this great event.
Thank you to you, of course. You are welcome, and great to see again Banca Generali and the, let me say, not just the brand included in the communication, but actually the people, the company committed in realizing this all together. We had, as Paolo has already said, a great experience past year. You were pioneers because it was our first year, and it's great to have you all over again committed in this adventure. Thank you, Claudia. We'll be back to you, of course, in the meanwhile, during this webinar. I'm welcoming again all the people connected with us on challenges.reply.com. We are live. It's 5 o'clock and 4 minutes right now, 5 minutes, and we'll be live till 6 p.m. Central European Solar Time. So if you want, guys, please share your doubt, share your question, or just share with us where are you connecting from, and we are happy to say hi to all the people connected. let me continue the round of presentation. After Banca Generali, I'm happy to welcome a new, a new partner. That is Rodolfo Fracassi, co-founder and managing director at Main Street Partner. Hello, Rodolfo.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much
Hi
for
there.
the invitation.
You are so welcome, and thank you very much for joining us, of course, as well today, and for the World Challenge journey. That is, the first time we are doing together because of the topic of this challenge. There is not something, it's not a secret at all, because we talked about sustainable investment. Again, we are happy to have a partner. Would you like to, make a quote about this? Why Main Street Partners is related with sustainability and sustainable investment?
Well, because Main Street Partners was actually founded 12 years ago with the mission to promote sustainable investment since the very first day. So I founded the company in 2008, so actually quite a little bit more than 12 years ago. And since then, we've been involved in sustainable investments and also over the last years in developing a rating system for companies, governments, and also funds and portfolios, and also measuring the impact, the social and environmental impact that portfolios achieve on top of the financial performance. So basically, our mission, our mantra is knowing exactly, how much good is done by any euro that is investment alongside their financial returns. So very quantitative way also in measuring what we're going to do on a social and environmental level. So that's why we're here. I'm very excited also to involve the new generations with this new way of thinking and investing money. It's great, and thank you for inviting us.
Oh, of course, thank you to you for joining us for this particular topic of the challenge this year. That is, as you have already said, relevant for the younger generation, I would say, but even for everybody. Why not? And so,
of course,
we will be back to you and the expectation. That's a nice question I would like to ask you. What are your expectations for this year challenge that is about to start? Let me continue the round of presentation. My bad, sorry. I would have included ladies first. So time right now to present you Laura Grassi, assistant professor and head of Fintech and Insurtech Observatory at the MIP Politecnico di Milano. Ciao, Laura.
Ciao, nice to see you.
Thank you very much for joining us again this year as well, because as we said for Banca Generali, is the second year in a row the MIP and the Politecnico di Milano is participating as a partner in the Reply Investment Challenge. This year, by slightly changing the topic, as already said, and moving it to the sustainable investment. Why not to ask you this question? What are the expectations for the second year this time? What are your expectations in participating to this challenge? What are the feelings?
Well, maybe more than my expectations, I would discuss about what should be the expectations of, let's say, candidates or
Sure.
students, people interested in the challenge, because what I think is that this challenge is a very unique opportunity to practice what they are studying, if they are students in a good business school or university, to be in contact with some colleagues from all over the world, because this is a global challenge, and then to learn, because you never stop learning. And by doing, I think that you learn even more than what you can expect. So this is, say, my expectation. This is what I hope the candidates will experience throughout the journey with us during the challenge. So yeah, basically I would say that.
Thank you, Laura. The same for us, of course, in a matter of expectation. I see already comments coming in and asking, when do we start posting questions? Right now, man. It's the moment in which we can receive all of your questions. And I'm just here in order to share with the panel of our experts any kind of doubt you may have. I see we already have many people connected. Let me finish the round of presentation with my mate and friend Donato Caffarelli from the Reply Ambassador team, and I'm spending a couple of words about this project. Or why not? Donato, would you like to do it, since you are a veteran of the Reply Ambassador project?
Ciao, of course. Hi, everyone. I am part of the team of ambassadors. We are a group of students all over Italy and in some countries in Europe, especially Germany and UK. And we are promoting the challenges of reply in our universities, with our colleagues, and also on social medias through memes, social posts, and articles on our blog. So it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with all the people behind this competition, and I had the opportunity to talk about our project and share the word about this amazing challenge.
Sure. Specifically, Donato, I would say that we involve you, of course, as part of the Reply Ambassador team. If we have students connected that wants to meet Reply in the meanwhile you are still studying, the site to visit is ambassadors.reply.com, and you can apply to be part of this amazing team with great rewards for your commitment in collaborating with us in the meanwhile you are still studying. ambassadors.reply.com. So if you want, that's the website. But this time we're talking about the Challenges project, and yes, of course, the Reply Sustainable Investment Challenge. And I see already questions coming in that are already listed. Why not, Paolo? Yes, if you want. I see you already taking charge of one question, right?
Yeah, no, thank you, Enrico. Yes, there's a question from Luis, and is asking if the challenge is more about building a portfolio or trading to grow the account. Actually, this is somehow supporting also the presentation of the mechanisms that we set up this year for the challenge. If anybody took part to the challenge last year the challenge was about hedging and trading. This year, as you anticipated, is about learning on how to trade responsibly on sustainable investment, sustainable finance. The mechanisms, and then Mattia will help me in presenting this, is based on what we call a bonus malus mechanism. So if you're investing in good ESG speaking companies, doesn't matter whether this is done by stocks, bonds, or options, you got a bonus. If you are investing in bad, always under the ESG profile, companies, you will get a malus. What do we mean by this? It's meaning that the bonus and the malus are calculating on the overall amount you are investing in the company. So if you're investing in a good company, let's say that the capital gain, the gain you're doing on your stock or bond or option, is not the only source of revenues or losses that you can get. You can gain also from the fact that, or lose money, also from the fact that the company is a good or bad ESG company. So all the amount you're investing in a single company got evaluated under the ESG point of view. So it's, I would say, back to the question, is more about how you're going to build your portfolio. And of course, if you have your portfolio growing, you're going to amplify your return. But it's more about building the overall portfolio. Just to give you the idea on how this is stressed, the other trigger that we inserted among the different evaluation criteria, as you can see from the website, is the fact that the longer you are keeping your position, the bigger the bonus or the malus you are getting. So trading on a day-by-day basis, so buying a stock in the morning and selling in the afternoon, it's not going to give you a bonus. The bonus is growing once you have a position that is maintained for more than 2 days.
Thank you, Paolo. We have already started in answering the question, even before doing a sort of introduction. So we are already live, let me say that. And I see, Claudia, maybe you want to add something, right? I guess you are on mute, sorry. yeah, that's it.
Yes, thank you. Speaking about portfolio, I'm very
Sure.
excited about the challenge and the description of the mechanisms of bonuses that Paolo described. I can add that this is exactly what is our approach in looking at sustainable investments. We are trying to build a portfolio for our customers, adding the dimension of the sustainability to the classical approach of risk and return. So the challenge and my advice is to try to put together the risk return profile, so the opportunity managing the risk of the portfolio, adding a layer of good choices in terms of sustainability. And this, let me add, is going to have the great result to mitigate the risk of your portfolio. And this is one of the main features of the financial result of approaching investment with a sustainability approach.
Sure. Thanks for pointing this out, Claudia. And of course, please, guys, feel free to complete and to interact in the round of question and answer we will have together for the next 40 and something minutes. I stress this with the audience. That's a unique opportunity you have to share your doubts and your question. Of course, we are present on all the social media in the world. You can address questions at challenges@reply.com via email by connecting to the website that is challenges.reply.com. We are always available in answering your doubts. But then, in general, yes, this is a unique opportunity of getting an answer live from our panel of experts. So please feel free to do so. I'm moving slightly back for a second to highlight the main thing out of our challenge. So I kindly ask the control room if they can share the presentation coming in. Exactly. Sorry. Thank you very much, guys. Just to recap, because we may have people connecting with us knowing nothing about it. We are talking about the Reply Sustainable Investment Challenge, an online competition related, of course, to the finance, to the sustainable investment that is about to start. It will start from April the 19th till April the 30th. There we will have our first round. Registration will close on April the 16th, so don't waste your time. Do it if you haven't yet. Register at challenges.reply.com because on April the 16th the registration will close. We will have this first round from the 19th to the 30th of April, and then an online final round in May from the 12th to the 14th of May with the best coders qualifying. With the best investors and traders qualifying from the first round. It was just me reminding about the code challenge. My bad. The challenge is fully online. You will play on challenges.reply.com, and what we are asking you is to learn how to invest your $1 million of pretend money in real market, under real market conditions, and make it impactful. That's what we ask you. Imagine to be a millionaire and to have this $1 million pretend money, and how to invest them under the rules that we have described, present on the website, of course, and that we have already discussed together with Paolo and Claudia minutes before. What else is important to share? Exactly, that's the timeline as I've already shared. Registration will close on April the 16th at 9:59 minutes Central European Solar Time. So remind, this is the deadline for you, everyone that hasn't yet registered. We already have thousands of registration. I'm not going to disclose the real number, but it's a great number so far, thanks to all the people committed in the registration campaign. But then again, we want to have a great investment challenge, sustainable investment challenge. So there is space for anyone in the world. Register to challenges.reply.com. First round from April the 19th to the 30th, and the online final round with the top 100 traders in May from the 12th to the 14th. Everything is because of the learning, of course, learning and having fun in the meanwhile you are learning something, but then of course we have prizes. So for the podium, the top 3 traders at the end of our finals in May the 14th, we will have a MacBook Pro for the first place, an iPad Air for the second place, and the Apple AirPods Pro for the third place in our podium. I guess you're not doing this for the prize, actually. You're doing this to show your talent and to show us you are the greatest trader and the greatest investor in general. But that's what we would like to share. Last but not least, we have a social battle, because you know that reply challenges are a social thing and we like to involve you in social activities. So if you have an Instagram account, we kindly suggest you to look for the reply challenges account, where you will find out a special filter, special Instagram filter, which name is Face the Change. We invite you to take a pic with that filter and of course tagging us, the reply challenges account, in order to receive the notification. For every pic shared, we will plant a tree in a sustainable way in our reply freedom forest, which is a forest made of real tree, of course, that we want to keep growing. We already have hundreds of trees planted thanks to the commitment of our community. So if you want to plant a tree, participate in the social battle, have fun with the Instagram filter, and most of all, because the best pic shared that we will select as the best pic shared will win our beloved Life at Reply, oh sorry, wrong side. Life at Reply skateboard, branded and unique, for the best pic shared on Instagram using the filter, Face the Change filter on the Reply Challenges Instagram account. That's the Reply social battle. If you want to play with us and win the special skateboard, connect to Instagram and share with us a pic with the special filter, and of course even to plant a tree in our forest. That was it for the, let me say, the things that we want to share as an introduction for our webinar. From now on, but even minutes before, we collected the questions from the audience, and we can, of course, select them and give them an answer. I don't know if you guys already have seen questions that you want to answer. Mattia, is there something you want to take charge of?
Yeah, there is some question about the ESG rating, and I would leave the word to Rodolfo, of course. Just a couple of words, just a couple of words to add regarding what have been said by Paolo before about the product perimeter, and about the concept that, of course, our investor have seen in the website about the whitelist. Product perimeter. You have the chance. The investor will have the chance to invest in equity, in bond, in option. Keeping in mind that we have picked about regarding equities a list of companies for which we got reliable data about sustainability powered by Main Street Partners. That's why you will not see all the company listed in US, but you will see a subset. I mean, a good representative subset, more than 1,000 companies, and you will have the chance to invest in those companies. These companies are rated, are ESG rated, and I'll try to answer to another couple of questions. The rating, as already have been said by Paolo, will influence your final score. So your goal should be maximize your profit, of course, choosing the right companies, and then keeping the right companies, and that's the challenge, keeping the right companies as long as possible.
Sure. That's the main thing.
Exactly. And about choosing the right companies, I will leave the word to Rodolfo.
Yeah, thanks, Mattia, and thank you for the very good question. Actually, I can give you a little bit of color of how the rating is elaborated, what's the scale, and how you can use it. So basically, the scale is relatively simple. The rating goes from 1 to 5, where 5 is the maximum rating. 3 usually is associated with a sufficient rating. So from 3 to 5, it means it's a good quality company. And of course, I mean, all the rest is pretty straightforward. How the ESG score is put together, basically, we work predominantly with a quantitative model that is pulling data from a huge number of sources and counterparties, basically is constructed. If you look, behind the curtains, what's in the model, we basically have almost 100 factors, and these factors are evenly split between environmental aspect, the social aspect, and governance aspects, of course, for E, S, and G. And what we're looking at, so basically, what are these factors? These factors are a combination of basically three things. KPIs. So to give you an example, on the environmental level, we're looking at CO2 emissions, scope 1 and 2 emissions from companies. We're looking at how much water they use. We look at the mix of green and brown energy, and so on and so forth. Then the second type of factors is policies. So we look if companies that do actually have policies on responsible consumption or energy efficiency, or on the value chain, or the type of products that they produce, the type of materials they use, so on and so forth. And then the third type of aspects that we look at is the targets. So what are the targets? So where the company is today, where the company want to be in a number of years, whether they're aligned with the 2-degree scenario of the Paris agreements, to give you some examples. And then this, is the environmental part. Then similar type of factors are looked at for the social level, but of course those are related to social issues like how the workers are treated, how the supply chain is treated, and these type of angles. And then there is all the governance part, which is basically how the board is composed, what are the reporting levels, whether there's been any scandal at the company level, so and these kind of things. So all of that is normalized, put together in a quantitative model, that then is given a rating at the E level, S level, and G level. Put it together. Different sectors will have different weights for the various different inputs, because for consumers, for instance, something is more relevant, while for energy, something else is more relevant, and then we'll give you the final number. So it's not just a number that comes out of the guts with a couple of guys in a room deciding,
Sure.
who's good and who's bad, but it's very structured, and it really gives you a picture. And then last but not least, the rating is constantly adjusted by the presence of controversies. So let's say even a very good company sometimes can misstep, so do something wrong on a legal aspect in the environment, social, or governance. So that's reflected, and then they might have a little bit of a lower score that they had before. So it's very dynamic. So I guess the challenge here, guys, is to try and achieve the maximum result possible, of course, with a strong eye to the risk, and with also as much of a strong eye to sustainability aspects.
Sure, that's the core part of the challenge, and where we want to test the skills, the talent of the investor and the challenge participants. I guess that we are submerged literally by the question coming from the audience. I guess many of them are actually looking for tips. They already want some help. That's what they are looking for. So I don't know, is there any help you want to share with the guys here? It might be a high level tip, but is there any of you guys that wants to share a suggestion for our audience? Claudia, yes, please. You're on mute, sorry, unmute the mic. Yeah, it's 2021, don't worry. We are all used with the unmute thing.
Advice for the private bank like Banca Generali is our job, so I'm glad to give some tips.
Sure.
In building your portfolio, you can choose different approach. You can start top down, selecting at first the let's say breakdown an asset allocation in terms of sectors, and then filling the different buckets with best-in-class companies, looking at the ESG score, or the other ways round. You can rank the companies looking at ESG ranking, and then select the best picks, and then optimize looking at risk management approach. So you can select the approach that you want. My favorite is the first. So starting from top-down approach, and then filling the buckets with a bottom-up approach.
Thanks for sharing, Claudia. I guess that's something worthy for the audience, even because you know that we have a mixed. That was the one of the takeaways we had from the past year, and I can ask to Laura, why not to go deep in this. We had past year a mixed level of skills. We have the let me say the newbies, or the ones trying to get some news about investment in their first time in the challenge, but even kind of professional traders involved. Are you expecting a similar scenario for this year as well?
Yeah, and then the sustainable issues are even more relevant than last year, much more relevant than last year. So I also expect someone, let's say, out of the field, out of finance, but to have very good knowledge in terms of sustainability. Just to give you an example, we do have all over the world some masters in sustainable finance at MIT, but the same in top business school all over the world. So I do expect someone having not just a financial background, but let's say a sustainable finance background. And so let's see if they are going to have the first place here, or if we'll have a mix last year. Let's see. I mean, I don't know what to expect, honestly.
Sure. That's it. Yeah. That's one of the guests we have to make related with the thousands of registered people. I already see in the comments we are receiving a lot of international participation from worldwide, and so that's I would say a good point. Yeah, I see from Colombia we have Portugal, Italy, UK, Scotland, and so on. Just few of the many countries involved, and who knows how many countries will be in for this year Reply Sustainable Investment Challenge. It's 5:30. We reach kind of half of our time, so we have to speed up in answering the question, because the name of this webinar is Ask Us Anything. And I see that Paolo, you want to add something about even the learning section, right?
Yeah, thank you, Enrico. Just taking the move from this question, so you will be actually giving us the access to the ratings. I would say you could help yourself. So you can find all the information you need from the public information. I mean, here you will have to study a lot. So connecting to the previous question, are we trading or investing? You need to be aware where you're putting your money. So your money in. So our suggestion, as Claudia said, we need to be aware where we are going to put our trust under the not only the industrial, the financial point of view, but also mainly for the purposes of this challenge on the ESG point of view. So we are not going to give you the ESG rating we are going to use for the final evaluation that is provided by Main Street and Partners, but you can find all the relevant information you will need in the statements of the different companies you can invest on. In this case, what you will have to do is to study a lot, actually. So this is the reason why we stress the learning, let's say, aspects of this challenge. In the portal, you will find a lot of learning material. You will have to study how to read the financial statements of the different companies you want to invest on, and get all the relevant information to understand which one is, under your point of view, the best choice. And this is going to be the reason why you will have to reconcile the financial aspects with the sustainability aspects.
You get, of course, the right point, Paolo. I guess that is we want to develop something where you show up your talent and you learn something, and to learn it, of course, you have to study, and so you have to. It's a matter of lifelong learning all over again, and you will have a funny experience, and out of it, you will learn something into a competition with other passionate people worldwide. Laura, please. Yes, sorry, I see you are
Just to add on this, just to say
Sure.
that the real sense, so the real scope of the challenge, of course, is like to win, because that's like the reward, so always relevant. But it is to learn, to practice in, let's say, a good environment, which is not at risk, because that's pretend money. So that's the idea behind that. So my suggestion is not to look for, let's say, the best model or the best optimization, or like look at formulas or how to maximize and so on, because that's not really giving you the learning for your future. I mean, you may win the competition, but then the real learning for you, for your personal and or professional future life will be less useful than what we would like to be. So that's just my suggestion, like to learn, to practice, but with kind of a strategic approach rather than just, let's say, maths or something like that.
Sure. Thanks for pointing this out. We deeply believe that, and even let me say that the World Reply Challenge is even not only for the investment and sustainable investment. Again, we mentioned the code, the creativity, the cybersecurity, and so on. That's just a way to have fun, to learn something, and to compete with other passionate people worldwide. And thanks to our partners, as the MIP Politecnico di Milano, we are able to do so for this specific topic. And again, why not to stress this topic of the sustainable investment? Why this? Why this year? I see Mattia before was mentioning even the greenwashing. Would you like to add something, Mattia, about the topic? Why this topic this year?
Well, this topic was an easy call, actually. Was an easy call because it's a trend, not only a financial one. Was firstly driven into the real world, let's say, and then as workers, as a consultant in the financial system, we saw it just follow the money. So why? Because it's a trend that is here to stay. We strongly believe that, and if it's true that we are doing this challenge to embrace the learn by doing approach, the future investor will deal with sustainability as well, as with a complete. As the same exact dignity of the other financial dimension. The sustainability will be a dimension as important as the risk factor or the asset allocation, the breakdown that Claudia was talking before. Another word, if I may, is for the reason why we do not have access to the rating also, because we strongly believe that in the learning by doing approach, our investor in our challenge will have to fight with the invisible enemy of greenwashing. You will study, you will make your research, you will see lots of websites about the companies, and I'm 100% sure that you will see that 100% of the company pretend to be in some way sustainable. The right question that you have to make and you have to figure out the answer is, it's only marketing or it's also marketing? And in the between, there is probably your chance to win our competition.
That's thank you, Mattia, for pointing out the relevant part out of the sustainable topic. I guess that all of you as professionals, let me say, are you experiencing a dynamic situation as the markets are, of course, but I guess that you are seeing this sustainability topic raising up in terms of importance. It's trending, of course, but it's even affecting and changing your job, I guess.
Yeah, on this front, if I may, I would like to add a very important point, because of the timing as well. It's not only because it is in fashion, which at the end of the day, it's important. That's also what drives the market. Sometimes we well know that, but it is definitely here to stay. I mean, ESG is not, a flash in the pan. Is definitely a long-term trend that is only going to grow more and more. There is a recent very well done research from PwC saying that they expect from here to 2025 that 57% of the assets managed by funds in Europe will be managed according to ESG parameters. And PwC, of course, is not an asset manager; it's an auditing company, consultancy company. So they are totally objective in giving these type of assumptions. And I would totally go along with that. Of course, we are more biased because we were born to do ESG investments, but I think that's the trend. And there is actually one more player in town, which is not a new guy because it's the regulator. And this is really moving the needle towards a gigantic trend because the regulator basically has decided that from March this year, every single market participant will have to disclose what they do in terms of sustainable investments and whether they manage sustainability risks at least. And then on top of that, the ones who actually do claim to do sustainable investments or ESG investments, that they have to explain how they do that. And this basically is the cornerstone of the huge transition plan that the European Union wants to put in place to become the first continent carbon neutral by 2050. So basically, we are part of this gigantic wave. I mean, we cannot ignore it. It's just going to happen. So I think also for you guys learning how to invest, taking into account ESG factors is just a thing that's going to be part of your career going forward if you wish to have a career in finance. So I think it's super relevant.
Yeah. Thank you. I see Claudia raising her hand to complete the answer.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I share the view Rodolfo told us. As far as I can see, the industry in the asset management space is adapting to this new trend. And there is a growing evidence of a growing sensibility to sustainability issue among investors. And there are a lot of surveys that are showing us that there is a great potential demand, but on the other side, there are a few products really focused on this topic or really managed with the proper ESG filter and approach. So this there is a set of conditions that sustain the scenario that Rodolfo explained. At the same time, I come back on the greenwashing danger. That is something that we have to take into consideration because sure that there is a great danger to treat sustainability with a superficial approach, putting just only a label on that. This is not, of course, the case for a product bank like Banca Generali that is doing the great sense of sustainability, for sure at the corporate level, but more we think that there is a strong need from investor for that, because as I mentioned, the investor nowadays are focused and ready to take care of the external impact of their own choices, including the choices made to manage their investments. And the investor need to be forward-looking, and they are aware that approaching investment in this way, they mitigate the risk and they remain focused on something that can create value for their own money, but also for all the environment and global framework.
Thank you, Claudia. Of course, by sharing what is by sharing what is the scenario, I guess we are somehow helping the audience, the participants to the challenge to even to start thinking about it, okay, to start resonating the topic and to leverage on the learning material that we have shared. We see questions coming in, Paolo. Do you have a list of questions you want to address, even in a fast round? Yes or no?
Just to be sure that we are going to give the right hints for sure. the mechanism on the challenge. So just reading out loud, we have questions regarding short positions. So the bonus malus actually applies to short positions, but in a specific way. We cannot allow short positions. We are allowing, however, to buy put options, which means, of course, it's equivalent of having a short position. Let's say the bonus is applied to a put option on a low ESG rate company. So if you are buying a put option on a, let's say, bad company, you're getting a bonus. If you're buying a call option on a good company, you're getting a bonus. The other way around for the malus, of course. About another question on how the mechanism of bonus formula works. The mechanism is quite easy. We're going to weight the investment value for the bonus malus percentage that is applied to the specific rating applied to the stock, multiplying it for an additional bonus that is, let's say, multiplying factor, not bonus, multiplying factor that is related to the days of detention of the stocks in your portfolio. So if it's a good company, the longer you're holding your portfolio, the bigger the bonus you're getting. And then on top of this, you get your profit and loss that you realize when you're selling your portfolio, or you are if it's the last day of the challenge, the valuation of the last day of the stock. I guess I answered all the technical questions. Also, the last one. So you be allowing call options as well? Yes, you are allowed to buy call options. You are only allowed to buy options, actually, as I said, call and put.
Okay, we have a following one. Sorry, Mattia maybe, or Paolo as well. Carmen is saying, do you mean it is better to include more puts than calls in the portfolio?
No, I'm just saying that buying a put option on a good ESG company is giving you a malus, as it's giving you a malus buying a call on a bad ESG rated company. So if you are, let's say, taking an overall long position in your portfolio on a good company, you're getting a bonus. If you're taking a short position on a bad company, you're getting a bonus. So to make it really, really easy and straightforward, buy good, sell bad.
Okay. I guess that there might be T-shirts with those. With the quote.
ESG point of view, of course.
All right.
I can add a tip on that. You can express.
Claudia.
You can express your negative view from a sustainability point of view on a company buying a put.
Correct. Thank you, Claudia. Very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, also, I wanted to add that we try and clean the universe from biases as much as possible. So to give you an example, when we normalize data across sectors, that is done in a way that you will not end up with the IT companies all getting a definitely better rating than the energy companies. Of course, on average, that's true, but it doesn't mean that any or no energy company at all in the world could have a good ESG rating, because we're taking into account also factors like peers analysis. So if a company, is coming up as a champion compared to their peers in their sector and is managing the transition from brown to green in a very good way, then of course that gives a premium in terms of ESG. So you can try to exploit some of the fundamental biases that of course are inherent to the ESG world, but it's not so easy, or in any case we try to normalize them as much as possible. And I would say in general, I think also the challenge, and I don't know how the whole mechanism of bonus and malus rule is done, but in general, at least what we tend to do is try to create very diversified portfolios, buying the champions across sectors to make something that is balanced and makes sense from a risk reward perspective.
That's a question I would like to raise to you, which how would you describe a sustainable investor? Which is the behavior that in general might follow? I already seen Paolo's quote, but what is the, how would you describe the behavior or even the first action? That might be another question for you. First action to be made by a good sustainable investor on April the 19th in our game.
Well, I will give, two levels of answer. The first one is more philosophical and the second one is more technical. The more philosophical one is you gotta be a believer. I mean, you have to believe in it. You have to be fundamentally convinced that ESG analysis or sustainability analysis will provide a premium in the end because the world is going into that direction. And so you follow the green, as we're saying, and you fight the greenwashing. And so that's, the more philosophical question or aspect of it. Then technically, I think what, a serious sustainable investor does is so Claudia was depicting before, you basically start, either bottom up or top down, or if you take a top down approach, you do a good best-in-class approach, and you basically focus on the companies that have the best profiles across the sectors. As I was saying, trying to clean the portfolio from biases and not be overexposed to certain areas. So in the end, I would say probably that's the first step that you do. So you basically look at the ESG aspect first, you build your universe, and then you try to make as much money as possible within the universe that you have created. And you keep an eye on that, monitoring all the risks, all the parameters, or the potential controversies that come up in the portfolio over time. Then that's not the case because we don't have, I guess, historical data in the challenge. But when they manage portfolios in real time for years, then you got to keep an eye on it ongoing. So that's what the investor does. And then last but not least, you measure the results, because in the end, we are all measured by results. So the true investor is the one that also cares a lot about what are the results. So how much CO2, for instance, we have spared compared to a benchmark, or how good was the average ESG level of the portfolio that we have on top of how much money we made, or how diverse in terms of gender equality the companies in which we have invested are, all these kind of things, KPI parameters, financial, social, environmental ones.
Thank you, Rodolfo, for your answer. I don't know if any of the other members of our panel today wants to add something. I would, yes, I would invite, yes, please, Laura, you raising your hand.
Yeah, just if you want a tip or to underline that ESG, it's not just about E. So sometimes a mistake you do is to look at a company from the E perspective. So environment, you look at the power, you look at the green, you look at, which is of course part of the story, but not just that. So as Rodolfo was saying, there is corporate governance, social diversity. So just a tip, because sometimes when you look for news, it's pretty simple to find something about like CO2 or something like that, but it is not just that. So don't do mistakes just because you focus on E and then you think that it's ESG. It's more than that. So just to have kind of an overall view of the company.
Thanks for sharing that. I guess that's another important tip for our players. I would be back to Donato. That is, let me say, a representative of the students' world right now. Donato, just a question for you: how relevant is for you are about to reach your degree, right? To end up your studies.
Exactly.
May I ask you again? What are you studying right now and where?
I'm studying computer engineering in Milano.
Okay.
So,
and Yeah, that is my question. I mean, how relevant is for you? How curious are you about the investment world, and how you see relevant for you to learn something about it, even if you are not studying that field? Let me say you are studying another thing.
Yeah, but this last point is the reason why I'm so interested in investing, because it's something really distant from my studies, and at the same time, it's something that is going to be present in my future life as a worker. Because one thing that I learned from my experience is that apart from the money that you can earn from your work, you can also you should have an automatic source for earning money, and this is investing. And also, investing is a very is a difficult word if you think it's just a place where you just put your money and you earn something back. So you have to learn a lot, and this is a great opportunity, and especially this year with the ESG addition is an opportunity not only for the people of my generation or even younger, but also for everybody to ask themselves, so what we can do to change the world in a better way, and giving our trust and so our money to the right companies that are shaping the world in the right way is very important. So having these opportunities and being more conscious about that is very important.
Thanks, Donato. And of course, I'm inviting you and all the other students already, if you haven't yet, of course, to register to challenges.reply.com and participate into the Reply Sustainable Investment Challenge. Again, the registration campaign will end on April the 16th, and the game will be on from April the 19th till April the 30th. I see Paolo raising his hand. Please, Paolo.
Questions that might deserve some returns.
Sure.
There's one related to the amount of, the size of the bonus or malus that we are recognizing to good or bad investments. They are considered, this participant is considered that the numbers too low. Actually, what we are doing through the bonus and malus mechanism is emphasizing and, let's say, amplifying the ESG effect. But as Rodolfo said, we're living in a financial world, so cash is king at the end of the day. So we cannot forget that we need to get money. So we are amplifying the effect, of course, of the ESG and the sustainability, widely speaking, effect, but we cannot forget that at the end of the day we need to cash in. And related to this, there was another couple of questions. The first one is related to where we can find information. Is the balance sheet enough to make some decision? Actually, in my opinion, it depends on the on how much the company is presenting its ESG numbers. If the company, my expectations are, but here of course Rodolfo can be more precise. If the company is, generally speaking, a good ESG company would make it publicly available in its balance sheets, in its financial statements. If we cannot find that much information in the statements, it's meaning probably that they are not caring that much about information, or they don't have that good information to display. So this might be something to take care about. And the last one, sorry for taking so much, it's relating to how much should I have to look at my portfolio? Do I have to look at my portfolio every day? Again, you need, this is not a trading challenge, it's more an investment challenge. But I guess that you would like to understand whether you have opportunities to invest on. So having a look at the markets, even though you should think that once you stated your portfolio, you're done, we are in a very, very volatile moment in terms of markets. So having a look closely, constantly, every day is going to give you some more possibilities. Even because one limit we didn't mention before about the rules of the challenge is that we set some concentration limits. Let's think, you might find what you think is the best stock ever. You cannot invest your $1 million on that stock. You will need to diversify. This is just to, again, push on learning, studying, and thinking before you're making your decisions. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you to you, Paolo. Of course, by the answer Paolo is giving, and of course, there will be chances to continuously answer other questions. You see that we try to think about a consistent challenge with the message, let me say, with a mission, okay? That is, of course, to learn and to get to know with the topic, of course, by having fun in a fair competition with thousands of our investors worldwide. But that's, again, a set of rules, even by basing the challenge on real market condition. That's something always worthy to share, I guess, because it's not that common, as soon as I know, as far as I know, to base, and this year particularly, Paolo and Mattia, we're talking about the American market, right?
Correct.
Exactly. Yeah, the US market.
And that reflects even the timing. That's another thing that we may share, the timing of when the competition will be on, from April the 19th to April the 30th. There will be a specific time frame where to make the investments.
Exactly, that follow the open market in US. So from the 3 p.m. until 10 p.m.
In the European time.
In the European
right?
time, exactly.
Okay, perfect. So from the afternoon, 3:30, if I'm right, till 10 o'clock in the evening, European time, refer, of course, to the working hours of the American market. And again, we're stressing this, we are talking about real market conditions. So you are playing on something real. You can have the real feedback of, even if we are talking about pretend money and your $1 million you will have to invest. I guess, guys, that we reached the end of our time, even if we can do whatever we want, because it's we are at our home, so there's not that something that follows us. But let me say thanks to all of you for... Paolo, please.
Sorry, just one question that seems quite important. Real-time prices. So we are working on real markets on real time. So all the prices are real-time prices. Sorry, but it was one important question, Enrico.
Sure. No, absolutely fair to answer. Is there anything you want to add, guys? We are here. We can answer other questions, or of course, giving the appointment to the start of the challenge, and of course invite all the guys to register if they haven't yet on challenges.reply.com.
May I add something, Enrico, that
Mattia, please.
An advice to our investor, keeping an eye on daily basis to our page, to the investment challenge page, because we are going to publish almost on daily basis some hints, some news about companies that maybe can help you to shape your portfolio and to choose your companies.
Sure. Thanks for sharing this again. Of course, challenges.reply.com is the page to visit right now to register, and the page to stay on during the game from April the 19th till the 30th, even because through the challenge platform, you may have the chance to get in touch with the Reply Titanium team. And so to get some answers to your question, we will have live webinars as well, social media presence all the days. So we'll be there to help you during the challenge, to share some tips. So again, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so on to get in touch with us. Thank you very much to all the people connected with us today, this live that lasts 1 hour as promised. And I would make another recap of our panel and say thanks to all our partners together with us, starting by Claudia Vacanti, Head of Product at Banca Generali. Thank you very much, Claudia, for being today with us.
Thank you so much. Good luck to everyone.
Thank you very much for your wishes, and of course, good luck to all the players and all the people who will register together with us. Thank you to Banca Generali to make this happen together with us all over again this year for 2021 in this special challenge dedicated to sustainable investment. And as well, thank you very much to Laura Grassi, assistant professor at MIP Politecnico di Milano. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you to you. Have a good day.
Yeah, we'll get in touch for the next days together with the MIP and of course their help in shaping the challenge together with the Main Street partners represented by Rodolfo Fracassi. Thank you very much, Rodolfo.
Grazie, thank you everyone, and of course also have fun in doing this because I'm sure it's going to be a great experience.
Thank you. I do agree, of course, with all the others, and I guess it will be fun and nice for all the people registered right now in the challenge. And of course, I would end the loop by saying thanks to Donato from the Politecnico di Milano as well, part of the Reply Ambassador team. Thank you, Donato.
Thank you, Enrico. Hope to see a lot of colleagues on the challenge.
Sure, and thank you very much for being together with us today. And of course, I have to say thanks all over again to Mattia and Paolo, and of course to the whole Reply Titanium team for shaping all over again this Reply Challenge. Thank you, Mattia and Paolo.
Thank you very much.
Our pleasure. Speak soon.
We'll get in touch from the beginning of the challenge for the whole length of the challenge, of course, for the appointment we will have live with our audience. For everything, all kind of doubt you may have, we'll see you online on challenges.reply.com. If you have questions, you can, of course, get in touch with us even via email, challenges@reply.com, or through the social media channels, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well. We are here to answer all your doubts. Thank you very much for being together with us today. It has been the Ask Us Anything webinar related to the Reply Sustainable Investment Challenge. Good luck to all the people who want to participate with us in this incredible adventure all over again. And we'll be live with the challenge from April the 19th. Registration closing on Friday, April the 16th. So don't miss the deadline, and we'll see you online. Thank you very much, you all. That's it. Goodbye. Ciao.